What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from TheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. I'm taking a second look at The Incredibles 2. It hasn't celebrated an anniversary, but it is the 20th anniversary of The Incredibles, so I wanted to pair it with a review of The Incredibles 2. It's only two movies. I did the Austin Powers trilogy because of Spy Who Shagged Me, which is the most important of the trilogy. I put out all the Transformers movies this year in conjunction with Transformers 1, so I kind of do this kind of thing, you know. Um, but this is a sequel, Pixar. I've seen this movie before. I think I've only seen it once. It's not that old of a movie. I did see this in theaters. It was during vision loss, I would say. My vision journey. I was definitely, legally blind at the time, and I was still in this period where I had some usable vision. I was like, if I see things on the largest screen possible, maybe. And then that petered out after a little while too. So I only had a short window of time where I was still doing that, where I was like, oh my god. But I didn't realize that eye strain and stuff like that. It kind of sucked. It wasn't a great experience for me to try to use a little bit of vision to say. But so I did get to see this in the theaters, and then I watched it on Disney Plus, where it has audio description. Where it will probably live forever because I don't think Disney's ever going to get rid of their core franchises off of Disney Plus. Like, that's why you subscribe, is so that you have the Disney library, the Pixar library, Star Wars, Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why. If you have kids, it's like a babysitter. It's like a reliable babysitter for those reasons. Just put a parental advisory on it so you don't get any of the weird, like, Alien Romulus content. You're good to go. So this is Brad Bird is back. Is also voicing Edna Mode again. But it's the Incredibles family. Takes place shortly, basically right after the events of the first film. And, superheroes are still persona non grata. And it's a perception that they're still trying to change. Things have not gone well for this family. They live like in a hotel. And, because they're not earning money. They're saving lives, but not getting paid for it. So, they're just kind of on the outs. And lo and behold, another person comes in with another offer they can't refuse. Seems too good to be true. And turns out it is. But for very different reasons. For less obvious reasons. There are other superheroes and powered individuals like throughout this thing that come in. Of course, Frozone's back with Samuel L. Jackson. The notable new voice characters are the brother and sister that are running this, the sort of the rich people that are running this new thing to try to revitalize superheroes, which actually they want Helen this time. So the movie features Helen a lot more, Elastigirl, while Mr. Incredible is at home with the kids, and Jack Jack, who's exploring his powers. Jack Jack has like every power known to mankind at this point. He just has a wealth of powers, and he's utilized in very entertaining ways. And that's one of the reasons I love the movie, is how they evolved Jack Jack, and of course how they evolved Dash and Violet as well, because obviously Dash can't be the same voice actor because that kid grew up. His voice would have dropped. So it's a different Dash, just to let you know. I mean, for sure, it's a different Dash. But they did a pretty good job casting somebody who sounds like the original Dash, so you don't miss a whole lot if you were to watch these movies back to back, because I watched them pretty close to each other, and I wasn't like, oh my god, Dash sounds completely different. I was like, oh, that sounds like Dash. So probably took them a while to find the right Dash. It's it's fun and flirty and fancy free. I don't know why I said that. Bob Odenkirk is good here. Seems like a real super fan, and he sounds a little close to Jason Lee's character from the first one, so you're just suspicious enough of him that it throws you off the scent of who the actual villain is here with, and then there's this whole like screensaver thing. Um, and I love the commentary on how we watch our screens too much and they turn us into like mindless zombies sort of that are willing to, and how we can be controlled through that. And I was thinking to myself, in this future blind people win. We become the ones that they can't control. They'd be throwing these headsets on us and we'd be like, what, I'm supposed to see something, like they'd be like, why isn't it working? Oh. I thought about that while this thing was happening. I was like, wait, this whole thing is hinged upon the fact that you're able to see the thing for it to be able to take hold of you. So in this future, Daredevil wins. This is the best timeline for Daredevil. Daredevil sweeps in, and since Disney and Marvel are the same, they could. Anyway, I am being silly. Please like and subscribe for really silly random references. But it's again, great score. I really love the train sequence with Helen, the one that I think was like giving kids seizures, and then they had to put like a warning on the movie. That was a really cool sequence. It's still a cool sequence. My only problem with the movie is audio description and not the writing. The writing is fine. The writing is great. I think the narrator's a little flat for a kids movie. This is the kind of narrator I would put on a drama. Like you know, Welcome to Power of the Dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that really engages kids here. And I like voices that feel like they're engaging children more in children's movies. And this is still a children's movie. This is still a kids movie. Primarily. The primary audience for this movie is like under a certain age. Not over a certain age, but under a certain age. They didn't make this movie for adults. So we shouldn't have audio description that's catered to adults. We need to be exploring ways of bringing congenitally blind children into the world of cinema and making it really fun for them, so that way they can continue to latch on to and keep this, instead of feeling like this is a thing that they're excluded from. And the best way to do that is the way that we read bedtime stories to kids, which is with performative audio description qualities, where you just kind of have a little bit of acting in your voice. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of a rise and fall. It's not a neutral thing. And plenty of Disney movies do this. So I know that they're not like all of a sudden like, you know what, for Incredibles 2, we'd like for you to just drone straight through the movie, if possible. I mean, I could completely understand what she was saying, but at the same time, I'm thinking about, if I'm a parent and I'm taking my little kid and we just sat at home and watched The Incredibles on Disney Plus, actually Disney Plus wasn't around when Incredibles 2 came out, so we watched Incredibles on DVD, which I hope it has audio description on DVD. I'm not really sure, but we watched Incredibles at some point. I'm taking my kid to Incredibles 2 in the theaters and putting a little device on him, and we're getting down, we're really excited. He's just like falls asleep, and I'm like, why are you asleep? You like the first one? Oh, well, the lady's really, she's really boring. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we don't test kids' demos, Like, I feel like it would be really weird for me to just walk around and be like, does anybody have a blind kid that I can borrow? But maybe there's something to that, Like, maybe we should be finding out whether or not like, do these work for kids? Does this, what do they attach to? What do they prefer? What voices do they prefer? What styles? Because I think there's a reason why parents have been reading bedtime stories a certain way for many years. Because if you went in there and read it with no emphasis, either your kid has no interest in books or they don't fall asleep. There's always like a a negative reason on the other side. And I think this way is either they won't end up liking the movie, or cinema in general, they just won't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not engaging them at their core in a way that they need to be engaged. We talk a lot about how we have all these little, I know this is a really long review for The Incredibles without actually talking about The Incredibles, but welcome to being a blind film critic. We talk about all of these like little educational tools that we use for kids, right? And all these learning devices, and everybody sits down and gets around in rooms and leapfrog, and we have, you know, Dora the Explorer and all these things that are, when you think about how they engage kids, they engage them on their level. This does not engage kids on their level at all. This engages kids on no level. That's all I'm saying. Like, she can narrate, just not kids' movies. And just use more responsible casting when you're doing a kids' movie. I've seen plenty of movies where I'm like, this is great. I've also seen narrators who I like end up in kids' movies, and I'm like, why are they here? A notable thing is I'm a big fan of Jedediah Barton. I think he was on Treasure Planet, if I'm right. I don't think he was the right choice for that. So, yeah, there are narrators out there that are perfect for this kind of stuff, and then there are narrators out there that are cool, you know? I mean, you're getting work, whatever. And we should really be trying to engage and build for kids who are trying to discover how they're going to live their lives. Because let's face it, when you're that young, even if you lost your vision, it's not like you're going to remember a whole lot of it. So you pretty much have to treat yourself as if kids under a certain age really are congenitally blind, you know? And of course there are low vision kids too, but I mean, like, kids in general, engage them. So that's it. I love Incredibles 2. I think it's just as good as the first movie. So I'm going to give it an A. I don't know that it's earned, I can't say honest, just having watched this movie twice, that I would say it's a desert island movie for me, because that's lying, because obviously it's not a comfort movie for me if I've only seen it twice. So feels like it could be, though. I think the first one was. So I just haven't had time or gotten around to watching this movie again. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Click that like and subscribe button, because I need to talk more about audio description, but I need to do it in front of a larger audience. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the other side.